What up? Radical here. Alright, so today's video is going to be about finding shiny Pokemon in Pokemon Sun and Moon. And I wanted to make sure I made two separate methods of doing it. So I have the first method that is going to list off how to find shiny Pokemon if you don't care about natures as much. So if you just want to go through and you just want to find some shiny Pokemon for fun, it's a little bit easier of a tactic and it should work out pretty well for you. The more in-depth one, if you skip 4 minutes into the video, roughly about 3 minutes, 50 seconds, but I just go 4 minutes. It's going to be a bit more of an in-depth tutorial on how to find shiny Pokemon that have the natures that you want. So you can find Adamant Bagons, Jolly Bagons, whatever you want, bold ones. It is a 50-50 shot, so it's not going to be a guarantee. But if you want to watch that tutorial, then skip 4 minutes into the video. If you don't care about finding the proper nature, then watch from here on out, and hopefully you enjoy the video. Okay, so the first part of this video is you're going to need to get your items all set up and your TMs and everything. The things that I would recommend, you're going to need Adrenaline Orbs. I would say at least 10. You know, just play on the safe side. That normally works pretty well, so you don't have to go back and buy them every single time. They're pretty cheap. You're going to need Leppa Berries. That's going to restore your PP. You get 10 PP from each Leppa Berry. I just farmed the crap out of my Pokepelago to get them. So that's what I would highly recommend. You know, you just pop all of them in there with Leppa Berries. You'll come out with like 300 of them. Works really, really well for me at least. I would say at least 100. Citrus Berries. You're going to need those just for HP back. If you have a Pokemon like you're going to be using in this first one to get shinies, you're going to be using an Absol. So you're going to need Citrus Berries to get his HP back up. It's a lot cheaper than Hyper Potions and stuff like that, and it heals a good amount of HP. So that's the reason I do it. I'd say at least 50. Not a necessity if you have plenty of money for Hyper Potions and everything, but in my opinion. False Swipe. That's going to be the TM you're going to need to get their HP down to 1. If you have the Munchlax or Snorlax with Hold Back, that'll work too, but it doesn't really work for the whole situation, so I would go with False Swipe. It's given to you at the beginning of the game by Professor Kukui really, really early on, so you should have it no matter what. I think you have to get it to progress. And then you're going to need TM73 False Swipe, False Swipe, I just covered that one, Thunder Wave. You're going to need Thunder Wave as well. So that's going to be TM73, you're going to find it at Wela Volcano Park. I'd recommend either you look up a video that shows you where it's at, or if you just run around there for like 5 minutes, you'll find it pretty easily. So you're going to need Thunder Wave, False Swipe, Adrenaline Orbs, Leppa Berries, Citrus Berries. In my opinion, they're not a necessity. Alright, next thing you're going to need for the shiny hunting without caring about natures, you're going to need an Absol. And the reason Absol is great is because he learns False Swipe, he learns Thunder Wave, which are the two moves you're really going to need on him. He gets Pressure. So Pressure, what it does is when you use an Adrenaline Orb, it increases the rate that they're going to call another friend Pokemon in, or ally Pokemon, whatever you want to call it. They're going to call it in. With Pressure, it increases it another chance. So you're going to have a pretty good chance if you're fighting like a basic Pokemon like a Bagon or a Grubbin. Those are things that I've shiny hunted. Goes real quick. You know what I mean? So that's to get that going really fast. And then what you're going to do is you're going to take your Absol. You're going to teach it False Swipe, which is TM54. And then you're going to teach it Thunder Wave, TM73. I told you where to get those. And then you're going to teach it something physical and something special. So if you're facing something that isn't a Ghost type, isn't a Rock type, or a Steel type, I recommend Slash. That's a good way. Any other way, if you're facing a Steel type, get Flamethrower. If you're facing a Fire type, get Rock Tomb. You know what I mean? Just play with it as you need to for whatever Pokemon you're shiny hunting. Slash is a pretty good one because you're going to get crits a lot, and it's pretty strong, at least relatively strong. So that's my recommendation on Absol. You want to have the False Swipe, Thunder Wave, a physical move, a special move. Make sure you're stocked up on Leppa Berries, Citrus Berries, Adrenaline Orbs, you know, to an extent. You don't need to have a crap ton of those. And then get to shiny hunting. It's actually really easy. I've seen people get it within 50 turns. I've seen people get it within 100 turns. With the shiny charm, drop those numbers down drastically. And it'll go really fast. But yeah, that's my recommendation on it. And yeah, we'll get into the second part of the video. If you want to stick around for this, I'm going to be talking about how to get shiny Pokemon with like the nature you want. So if you want to get like a modest Grubbin as opposed to getting some random like a Naive or something along those lines, then yeah, stick around and we'll get right into that. Okay, so this part of the video is dedicated to if you want to shiny hunt and you want to find very competitively viable Pokemon. So like I listed, if you want to find a Adamant Bagon, like that's what I found was an Adamant Bagon, you can go Jolly, Timid, Modest, whatever one you want. This is going to be a little bit more of an in-depth tutorial. You are going to need to do more things and it does take a little bit longer, but you will get a better shiny Pokemon in my opinion because you can use it. So that's, you know, you're going to need the same items you needed in the last video. So you're going to need in the last part of the video, if you watched that part, if not, then you need Adrenaline Orbs, you need Leppa Berries, you need Citrus Berries, and you need TM54, which is going to be False Swipe, and TM73, which is going to be Thunder Wave. Those are going to be your key ones. So those are the items that you're going to need and the TMs that you'll need just to get this thing started. Okay, now here comes the tedious part. So if you guys don't know, the way that the ability Synchronize works is if it's in the front of your party and you encounter a wild Pokemon, you might see like A-Drive and people like that using it a lot. You encounter a wild Pokemon, it has a 50% chance to be the nature that your Pokemon has as long as your Pokemon has Synchronized. Now the one that I personally like to use, Alakazam, because he gets Recover, which is nice and simple that way. He gets Thunder Wave in case you do come across a shiny, and he's relatively strong. You can also use Kadabra if you can't trade Pokemon or whatever else. You know what I mean? You want to make sure you get that good nature, and yeah, it's a pain in the butt. Me and my girlfriend both have it, so I use Alakazam personally, but you can use Kadabra too. So the way that you want to do it is you want to set your Kadabra or Alakazam up with Thunder Wave. You want to set him up with Recover, and then a physical and a special move. The two moves that I use, unless I'm hunting a dark type, is Psychic and Psy Shock. Because Psychic's going to hit on the special side, so if they're especially defensive, or they're physically defensive, you can take them out pretty easy. And then Psy Shock is going to hit on the physical side, so if they're specially defensive, you can take them out pretty easy. Makes shiny hunting go a little bit faster, and he gets stab off them, so they're a little bit stronger. Again, like the last part, if you didn't watch it, just play with what you're going towards. You know, if you're going for a Bagon, try to use an Ice type move, or whatever move you know is going to knock him out. That's why Psychic works pretty well. And it's got decent PP, you know, it's got the 10 and the 10, so that's 20 turns before having to use a Lepa Berry. Makes it a little bit easier. The second thing you want to do is you're going to want to bring a Pokemon with you. This can be any Pokemon that knows False Swipe, whatever else. So you're going to want to lead with your Alakazam, and then you're going to want to switch out to that other guy, False Swipe it down, use an Adrenaline. I normally use my Buzzwole because he's nice and powerful. But you're going to swap out to him, you're going to use False Swipe to mark it down to 1 HP, and then you're going to use your Adrenaline Orb, you're going to switch back into Alakazam, and then you're just going to do the exact same thing you would do with the normal SOS battles. So you would knock out the one that gets called in, knock it out over and over and over and over again, heal your guy up as you need to, get your citrus things, or you get your Lepa Berries going on you, get your PP back up, good to go. So that's what you're going to, that's pretty much the overall thing. The thing that's going to be kind of challenging is when you have like a Pokemon that's super effective to you, or they can cause you like status ailments. So you want to be really careful with, like, for instance, I had my Bagon that I was shiny hunting, and it kept using Ember on me. And there's a pretty good chance, I mean, it's only 10%, but it uses it 10, 15 times. Sorry. It uses it 10, 15 times. They're probably going to get that 10% burn on you, and then it burns them too, and it makes them faint. So the way that I got around that is I give my Alakazam a Flame Orb, and then he's always burned. So you want to make sure... you're not going to catch that status ailment, because even if you get paralysis and you synchronize them, they're not going to call for help anymore. So it's just going to be a pain in the ass. You might get lucky sometimes, and it'll be the one that you were trying to faint, and then you can just, okay, you know, swap my guy out real quick, or you're already paralyzed or burned, you can just work with it from there, whatever else. I recommend the Flame Orb because it doesn't lower his attack, and it's going to hurt you every turn, but you can heal that off pretty easily as long as you have a high enough level Alakazam. You'd be good to go, you know? So... yeah, that's the overall thing I would recommend. If you're fighting a Pokemon that's going to give you status ailments, make sure you bring like a Flame Orb, or you can make sure your guy's paralyzed or something like that. You could do poison, as long as it's not toxic poison, that might be okay. I haven't tried that personal route, I just use the Flame Orb because it's easy to get and everything. So yeah, the overall steps, I'll cover them one more quick time real fast. So you're going to want to get Alakazam. That's the hard part, because you need to get one that's of proper nature. See, I go through and I grind, when I first get a Pokemon game, I grind up every kind of Ditto that I need. So I went and caught like all these like types of Dittos, and then I just caught like 50 Dittos in a row. And I was just catching them like crazy, just so I had a Modest one, a Timid one, a Jolly one, an Adamant one, everything. And then I bred it with a Abra, and you breed out like, boom, like 10 Alakazams of different natures. Make sure they have Synchronized, obviously. Synchronize, again, is going to pass the nature on to the Pokemon that you're trying to catch. 50% of the times. I'm not guaranteeing you're going to get the right shiny one, but it's pretty good odds. 50-50 is better than 1 out of like 17 or how many natures there are. 1 out of like however many. So yeah, you're going to want to breed an Alakazam or an Abra with Synchronize with the proper nature you want. So like Bagon, I bred an Adamant one, and I got myself my little Adamant Bagon. You know, so that worked out pretty well. Vagar, she works friggin' 4 perfect IVs, Adamant natured, shiny Bagon. Worked out really, really well. It's about 300 turns. Does take a little bit longer. That's with a shiny charm too. Does take a little bit longer, but make sure you turn off the battle animations, you'll be good to go. And then it worked again, because see, I didn't want to make this video until I made sure that it worked. So I had done a Grubbin one before that, and I got my little Grubbin, Rafale, and she is I mean, she's perfect in my opinion. But 4 perfect stats, almost 5 perfect stats. She's like 30 in her special defense. And then that's also the bold nature that I have my bold Alakazam in. So again, you just want to make sure Alakazam is out there when a new one comes in, just in case if it's a shiny. And then swap out if you need to like heal him up or whatever else. But make sure Alakazam is in as much as you possibly can. You know what I mean? I know it's hard to explain this because I don't have a capture card. Sorry, but yeah, that's pretty much the basics to it. It just takes a little while. Just make sure you farm up all those Leppa berries, you farm up all those citrus berries, you buy plenty of adrenaline orbs, get yourself an Alakazam. So determine what you're shiny hunting before you go to do it. Go breed yourself an Alakazam. You can go the human-like nature or egg group. If you have like a Pangoro that has that right nature, you can breed it with your Alakazam or whatever else. Go catch an Abra that might have that nature. Make sure it has Synchronize. Evolve it on up. Get it to level 31 so it gets Recover. Teach it Thunder Wave. Teach it an attacking move and a special move. And then you should be good to go. It is going to be a little bit of work, but you will get a shiny that is of the proper nature. So, yeah, that's the whole end game here. And I'm probably just going to leave the video there then. If you guys have any questions, feel free to ask me in the comments below. I'll answer any questions that pop up. I got no problem with that. So yeah, let me know if you got a question. But thank you so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next video. Deuces.